The Jets at Denver. It is Nathaniel Hackett, Revenge Gate, the game that everybody is going to be tuned into Sunday night. Tom, it's Breece Hall breakout week. He's going to get a full workload. Do you think that he's a guy that you're attacking DFS?
I can't not attack him. I think Robert Saleh's quotes yesterday got taken slightly out of context. The quote which everybody latched onto was that there is no restrictions on Breece Hall. There is no pitch count for him going forward. But when you read the entire quotes, it wasn't quite that, clean and simple. They also talked about how Dalvin Cook was getting healthier and that they wanted to get him going a little bit more. But yeah, Breece Hall at 5,400 against this Broncos defense, they just are horrendous. They are by far the worst defense against running backs in terms of fantasy points allowed. They've allowed 175. No other team has allowed over 120. And obviously a big chunk of those came against the Dolphins. But they just can't tackle. This passing defense was supposed to be the strength of this team. And outside of Patrick Surtain, they have nobody putting in good games. They've allowed the second most passing yards as well. They also give up plenty of work to running backs catching the ball, which is an area which Zach Wilson should be leaning into. I think it's been upsetting to see that Breece Hall, our friend John Daigle mentioned on Twitter that his first 2 carries went for 109 yards. And then since then, his last 30 carries have gone for 101 yards combined, which is pretty miserable. But yeah, I just don't see how this Broncos defense is suddenly going to stop Zach Wilson when they just completely couldn't stop Justin Fields for large parts of the games. They haven't forced a non-Hail Mary incompletion since the first half of week 2. That's insane. They've seen so many pass attempts. Yeah. I wish I knew who I'd got that one from because that one is great. I will make sure to go and retweet it after the show. But on the Broncos side of things, I do think Russ has been playing slightly better than he's been getting credit for because the Broncos have been so embarrassing. But Russ has been all right. If you basically track back to the point where Nathaniel Hackett got fired, he scored over 14 points on average in all those games. I think before that, he was averaging 11 or something rotten. Marvin Mims is one of 3 players to average 130-plus receiving yard reception per game. Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill are the only other 2. So I think you can find nice little correlations like that, like Marvin Mims and Breece Hall will be quite a different one. It just feels like one of Jerry Jeudy or Cortland Sutton could be the receiver who ends up with the Panthers within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Marvin Mims, if you've got a chance to go out and buy him in Dynasty, I think that workload, that breakout is coming. Really interesting nugget that I think probably isn't getting talked about enough is DJ Reed is probably going to miss this game for the Jets, which means that you've got Jerry Jeudy's probably going to line up in the slot. He's going to have Michael Carter, who's probably one of the best slot corners in the league. You've then got Sauce Gardner, who primarily plays on one side. But if it means they're going to drop down to Breece Hall as the 4th corner, I do wonder if that means that could we see Sauce Gardner switch sides, maybe follow a player like Cortland Sutton? Does that then open the gate even more for Marvin Mims to have a good week? I can't decide quite how I'm lining it up, whether I'm attacking Cortland Sutton, whether I'm attacking Marvin Mims, but I think one of them is going to have a good week. I just, at the moment, don't know which one.